Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular council meeting for Monday, March 9th. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 6:30 and note that Councillor Sean Chaffrick is joining us via Zoom tonight. So Town of Elk Point respectfully acknowledges we are located on Treaty 6 territory, the traditional and ancestral lands of the First Nations and Métis people. We honor their enduring traditions, wisdom, and cultural strength in our community. This evening, we have no delegation. So moving on to the agenda, are there any additions to the agenda? No?
Make a motion, accept the agenda as presented.
Thank you. All in favor? So. Great. No public hearing. Moving on to the minutes for the approval of February 25th, 2026 regular council meeting. Any errors?
None. I can move the minutes as presented.
Thank you, Jason. All in favor? Perfect. You. Okay, unfinished business. Resolution number 26-60, bylaw 898/24, animal control.
So in front of you is the animal control bylaw for third and final reading. It was first presented on November 21st, gave first reading. We did go through an advertisement and we had to advertise for 2 weeks at a public hearing on February 23rd. Following our last meeting, February 23rd, we gave a second reading and with some feedback from council that has now been incorporated in here. You'll see the changes to the bylaw, mostly to include, we made the changes that suggested council was including bees into there now. We did find some examples of the communities having bylaws regarding bees and also a definition of urban hen. And you also see in here some changes regarding the dangerous dog. But I won't go through all the changes. They're all there unless you guys have questions regarding the changes that are in here into the bylaw.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I just want to comment. I do appreciate the work of the administration and adding all our comments, and I feel better with how this is presented for this bylaw personally. So,
John, do you have anything?
I second what Jason's saying.
Okay. The only thing I had, and it's just strictly wording, under prohibited animals, section 31, it says no person shall harbor any of the following within residence, shelter, room, or in the place in the town, unless specifically permitted by a peace officer. In the event we don't have a peace officer.
Then it falls to me within this bylaw because I am now designated as a peace officer. If we had one, then I would designate that or my designate. So
Okay.
CEO.
So do we need to add or designate?
No.
No? Okay.
You know.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Okay. And we discussed the bite scale last time.
Yep. So you'll see in that bite scale within the, we took the bite scale and moved it a dangerous dog to the euthanization so you can classify where they're at on dangerous dog. And in there now it does state is that if someone is, if an animal causes death or severe injury or a second incident, and then they'll be euthanized. So I think before they took a second incident before they could do that. So if it's a severe enough injury and it on that scale, then there's no second chances. So I think that's what we're looking for and the public's looking for as well.
Yeah. A little more strength.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go back here.
You need a motion to go to third and final.
Third reading.
Make that motion.
Okay. All in favor? Carried. All right. Resolution number 26-24, bylaw 922/26, borrowing bylaw, foundation.
So this is for, oh, sorry.
I'm just thinking, did we have to go a motion to go to third and final and do third and final or?
We only do that if we're doing them all in one
Okay,
sitting.
very good. Sorry. Carry on.
That's all right.
Nope. And this motion, we did do the first reading on this motion on January 26th with the borrowing bylaw. This will be for second and third reading for this bylaw. Again, this is the borrowing to support the foundation, the borrowing bylaw for MD Foundation for Sunnyvale that we had here, we committed to. And it was $266,142.44. So this will be for the final, so we can go forward to get the borrowing and then pass the money on to the MD Foundation to support the build.
When did they say they want, there's no panic for it, I don't think.
They had indicated, they said before Christmas, and then they indicated to us they would like to have it by April. So, so we want to make sure the bylaw is in place, but what we're going to be asking for, once this bylaw is in place, we can borrow it any time. So we'll ask the MD Foundation for the schedule. They did indicate they were looking for it in April.
Okay, so can we get a motion to
I can do that.
read with second reading? And all in favor? Okay. Can the public see Sean?
Yes,
Okay, because I was just saying, do we need him to say something instead of just, okay,
I can see him.
okay, perfect. All right, does anybody have any other questions, or are we confident in going with the third reading?
I think I'm good with it. I don't know if anybody else has any issues.
Objections? Okay, can I get
I'll move
Dwayne?
third reading.
Yep. Okay, all in favor? It's carried. All right, resolution 2645, bilateral and multilateral recreation agreement.
So at the meeting of February the 3rd, we had made council approves the steering committee process for the renewal of the multi and bilateral recreational agreements between the county and the town of St. Paul. And with that, though, they were looking for 2 appointees to be on that committee. So then we started, we want this done here by October of this year. So we're anticipating probably 3 to 4 meetings at the most, hopefully, if things go well. So we do need 2 appointees from this council that wants to be on that committee.
Do we have an idea where the meetings will be located?
We haven't determined anything yet. We're looking, both the county now, I think, is appointed, and I believe town of St. Paul's doing theirs tonight, or vice versa. So,
I'm assuming they'll be in St. Paul.
I'm
More likely.
assuming that.
yeah,
Would it also be safe to assume that they would be daytime meetings, or we don't know that?
don't know that.
The last time we were sitting on any negotiating committee, it was in the evenings.
It was evening?
I would anticipate, yeah, probably more likely.
I think it's up to the group that wants to meet, but
Okay,
I'm willing to stand, but if somebody else wants to, that's fine too.
okay. I know with the multilateral, I think that's in the multilateral, or one of them, the Allied Arts is part of it, and I do sit on the Allied Arts. So I would also be interested in sitting on it. Does anybody else?
I'd be interested too, but I think the mayor should be a part of it for sure. So
Now, if you want to go through, you can, because both the county and I believe the town has put the mayor and 2 others. And then the county is looking at the same thing. There were even 2 others. So if you wish to have, you can do that as well.
I would suggest that then.
Yeah. If you want to do that, you can go that route.
I'll make a motion that the 3 of you represent multicultural, multilateral
Lateral.
recreation agreement.
that's good in case someone can't make it one meeting, and at least there's still 2 votes.
Options, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And we are proceeding where, and we'll get to all the, I'm drafting up in terms of reference, and everybody's gonna have the same amount of pull on there, no matter how many people are there. It's gonna be that each of them has, so it's just a matter of figuring it out so that we can support the rec facilities and goals, because that's what it's really about, so.
okay. All right, so Dwayne made that motion. All in favor? That is carried. Okay. Bylaws and policies.
So sorry, good.
Bylaw 92126, utility rate bylaw.
This is proceeding with first, second, and third reading, and final reading for the utility bylaw. December the 8th, City Council approved the 2026 water, sewer, and waste collection rates. They were effective for February the 1st of 2026. The notice has been sent out, and advertising has been done with our website, Facebook, and town newsletter. And for the December and February newsletters as well went out. So now this is having the bylaw in place for that utility rate.
Does anybody have any comments or questions regarding this?
Very few concerns with the utility rates. Our utility rates are within line or lower than most areas, so they're within range, definitely within average range or below the average.
Okay,
I'll move first reading.
Wayne moves first. All in favor? Carried. Can I get a motion for second reading?
I can make that motion.
Okay, so,
That'd be quick in a nutshell.
yeah, it's really difficult when you're on Zoom to get in there, but, okay. All in favor? Okay. All right, and a motion for unanimous consent.
I can make that motion.
Thank you, Sean. All in favor? Carried. And third and final reading.
I'll make motion for third and final.
Tim? All in favor? That is carried. Now the complaints might come. No.
No, your rates are pretty great.
Okay. New business, University of Blue Quills Indigenous Flight Report.
So this is here for information as a report on the initiative by Blue Quills to have more pilots in this area. So you'll see the information here. I won't go through all of it, but it's there for your review and for just receiving as information. And if you had any questions, I hope I can answer them.
I kind of read the report last night, but I didn't really see anything that, did they have an idea of what kind of demand would be in this area?
They did. There was some charts and we are behind. They're looking at a lot of their pilots are 60 and plus at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's a lot of them that are not younger. So they're trying to get more people and there's a need for, I think I've seen the number, they're looking for 20 in this area if they possibly can.
Okay.
So they're looking for more pilots.
It makes total sense that the facilities are join each other, so yeah, they can get the right mix and
Yep.
push it for sure.
Yeah, it'd be interesting for sure. Any other comments or questions? Okay.
I'll move for information.
Wayne. All in favor? That is carried. Eastern Alberta Trade Corridor, local to global, April 8th to 10th.
So this is an economic development is the trade corridor. So there's this will be in Vermilion and there will be a number of ministers there as well. And then also in conjunction with this will be the NAGO meeting. They did it on purpose at the same time this is going on. So there is information here for going. Myself and the mayor were at the last NAGO meeting as well. So this is if council wants to approve who wants to attend this conference. So
Who goes to NAGO? You do?
and the mayor and CEO.
So you can't go to both?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh, okay. Are you planning on going?
I do have it booked off, but I don't know if there was anybody else that was.
I'd love to go, but it's 3 days and I can't really 3 days.
Who now?
Yeah.
I'm assuming our step, Linda from Step will be there. I'm
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But
So,
And Bob.
I'd be okay with the mayor going.
Oh.
I can make the motion if you wish.
okay. So,
I think it's good just as a side note that we're in a location that some of the ministers and some of the higher people are, the decision makers are, to be in kind of in the same room and hearing them and having discussions. So it gives opportunity. So I think it's good.
yes, for sure. And they've got 2 confirmed and hopefully 2 more. Oh, I was thinking we could go back and forth, but those are pretty early mornings.
Yeah.
But we are a RETA member anyway, so who are part of Hub, so I believe we should be able to get
Yes,
the discount there, so.
yeah. Okay, so Jason made a motion for us to attend. All in favor? Okay. Right. Evergreen Regional Landfill Meeting.
So this is, we have the company that Sonora and is doing International is doing our report on the Evergreen Waste Management and Waste Management Plan for the whole area. Myself and Tim have attended the last one in January the 15th to look at what was there and what's existing conditions with some more information. So this will probably be the final one to leave with the final report. It will be on April 2nd. It'll be 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. So I did, in the motion, it does state, if Tim wants to go, I don't know if you want to go or not.
I've already booked holidays for that days.
Okay.
I can make the motion for Tim.
Are you going to?
Yes.
Yeah. You don't need a motion.
No.
Okay,
It's good to keep up with latest and greatest.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting what they come back with because
Right.
there's so many different options and you can burn that, make power out of garbage.
Yeah.
But we've never had enough garbage in this whole area to do that before.
So that,
Maybe
yeah.
we're getting closer.
And that's what they're looking at. They're looking at the whole picture, looking at all the transfer stations. And there is, like between Smoky Lake and here, there's probably about 20 of them. And there's 3 that are still class 3 where we have an area to put stuff into a pit, which we're looking at. Maybe we do truck and ship. It might be better than having that in that transfer. Looking at all those options and how that's going to work. And you're right. How much volume do we have and where that volume should come from now is becoming more of a business on the whole waste management.
And then the lower cost, right? How can you shred things? What can you do with it? Like, there's always more that you can do to save the space and get the cells to last, you know,
Recycling.
longer, so.
all right, so Tim's got that. Jason made the motion. All in favor? St. Paul Regional Housing Strategy.
So the housing strategy started here in February 2025, was led by the ISL Engineering Consultants, looking at the housing within the county of St. Paul, the town of Elk Point, and the town of St. Paul as well, and looking at the summer village of Horseshoe Bay, and looking at different where our housing is at, where we're looking for housing in the future, and what kind of gaps or we're needing, and what information can be used so we can leverage other from the provincial and federal government as well, so that we make sure that we have enough housing within the area and it meets the needs that we're looking at. So there was a meeting on February the 26th. It was a regional council meeting and the consultants were there providing the information going through the study. And you received 2 of those studies. One was the engagement report and the other one is the housing strategy. So what they've asked for is that all the councilors review the report and then get any kind of comments you want to give back, send them to myself and I'll bring them all together and then send them to the consultant before March the 12th. So if you want to discuss it here or if you just want to send it to me, that's totally up to council how you want to do that.
I think we can just email our comments.
Yeah, send an email, send it to me.
Okay,
I just put it on here just if you don't have any.
as a reminder,
Reminder, yeah.
mentioned it to me this morning and I went, oh, yes.
Is the report?
It was emailed
I
to
can
us.
send them again to you.
We can have, I think.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
I haven't read it yet.
Yeah. We'll take a look at them. If there's any concerns or there's a lot of information in there as looking at where our housing's at. On the most part, there was some interesting information, even at the meeting stating is that we have a lot of single housing, I think it was 68% are single dwelling. And within the single dwelling, there is 1 or 2 individuals in almost 80% of all the housing. So lots of them could be seniors. So looking at that, we do have a housing and a lot of housing, but it's not right now is how do you transfer that and use that housing so that people can find those homes as well. So there's some, and there's also about emergency shelters and transitional housing and those kind of things in the report. I got them here. So there's some good information in there and trying to give us a direction that we can move forward. It's probably more about repurposing what we already have and then looking at new ones and there's also, which I'm really happy with, they have an infill in there, is looking at the infill is where you have, because you already have utilities and everything there and how do you fill that infill in? And being more flexible, maybe the question is on that single dwelling is that there be more rental, more flexibility, have more rentals and also relax the parking and some of the regulations so that we can start make sure there's enough housing within the areas.
You have a look like you want to say something, Jason.
No, it was, there's a lot of information.
There is a lot of
I
information.
did like there is a push by the public, like a recommendation from the public, seeing a lot more, smaller scale houses too for, that would fill a niche. So I kind of had that inkling already that people would, don't need the 1,000 to 2,000 square foot housing, that, there could be a market for smaller scale housing again. So that's,
Well, and if we look at our retail market right now, that's what's selling.
That's what's selling.
The smaller homes.
so that's maybe something to be looking at our own land use.
Yeah.
And there's lots in there about front is that seniors
Yeah.
in transition in the same location is looking at more of that flexible seniors housing. It's not, they're not in a single dwelling and only, and they're seniors in a home, but maybe they're looking for something that's more suited to the needs of the area.
So if we can show there's a demand, then maybe we can, access some developers too, right? So that's helps us.
Okay, so I know in the RFD, it does say March 12th, but I'm gonna say let's get our responses to Daryl by the 11th so that he has some time to put them together.
Not too many pages, 2 or 3 pages per person.
Paste the whole report.
Yeah.
You said nothing about print size.
Yeah. I didn't, that's true enough.
Double sided.
Okay.
Just
so-
received his information.
Yeah, can we get a motion to receive this as information?
I can make that motion.
Okay. All in favor? That is carried. Manager of Operations report.
Fortunately, our banner operation's not going to be here. He's off. He does have his report here. I won't go through the full report, but they've been, as you can imagine, they've been busy with snow, which he wouldn't. He says he hopes the next report will be about melting,
Yeah.
not snow anymore.
Does he suspect any problem with that? You know, when this snow starts melting, there might be flooding.
Yeah, so at this point, we haven't seen.
That goes through, there's a lot of snow packed up in it and this and that. There could be a chance of flooding down Circle Drive. No,
Circuit Drive down Main Street again usually has,
It used to
Major
depend on
options.
how it melts.
yeah.
You know, if it melts really quick, or if it melts during the day, then gets colder at night and melt during the day, then usually it's different. And then we'd have to make sure is that our catch basins are ready to go. Is there, and with this kind of weather, we have freeze and thaw, freeze and thaw, where probably our catch basins will have to get on top of them, which I think Jay is, and they get on top of them right away, so they're not frozen up, so they will drain. Is because they will freeze up with this freeze thaw weather we're getting right now.
Yeah, we're experiencing that too. Even like the roads have gone to just one day of warm weather. and now they're off again.
Yeah.
It's the way the nature is.
Yeah.
We can be fortunate. I heard today from one of the guys that where we deliver up north, they said they got another foot of snow, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's that.
Yeah, and it's still minus 30, minus 40 up there too. Yeah, so by Fort Mac, so, yeah, so we're still getting, knock on wood, we're still thankful we're not anywhere near that. So the other one is, and then, no, go ahead.
The nice thing for us is that we're on a slope, so even if there's minor flooding, it's never going to be particularly serious.
Well, yeah, definitely. You can see some repairs. They did get the grader repaired and some of the repairs to the equipment. It wasn't bad. You see the great big snow pile that there is out there. So the kids should be happy. And there's lots of snow piles everywhere. And we did, I don't know if he's gotten this, I did read the report. The sewer did go back on. So the sewer repairs were done on railway.
Yeah, he wasn't in here, but I'm assuming he'll have that next month because it was pretty.
Have next month, but they are done. They did find the one initial break. And then they did the repair. They put the cameras on both ways and they found a second one. And they did that repair. So they are repaired and knock on wood, everything is working. So,
How
yeah.
long of, pipe that was put in?
Between the two, about 30 feet. I think one was 12 and one was 13 or something like that. Just about 30 feet in total that was repaired. So it was still clay. And it was scheduled for next year to put the liner down. I know Sean had a question. We could do the liner. Unfortunately, we do it from manhole to manhole and it doesn't work great in cold weather as we found this year. We tried to do it after Christmas. It's what it is a flexible pipe that goes in as like a resin. And then once it gets in there, then it heat it up and it hardens and does that liner in there. So we found really that this year during the cold weather did not work very well at all. So when this will still be suited for lining for the rest of it, and we can line through the repairers as
That
well.
was my question. They're still gonna be.
Yeah, we'll still be doing
but
that.
I was surprised because I drove over there today and they didn't have to tear up as much as I thought they would.
No, well, they
That
can,
was-
yeah, they can be precise. We have the cameras. With the camera, you can tell length, but they have a machine on top of the ground. They can tell exactly where that camera is, where that break is.
Mhm.
So it's a lot easier. So before we had to dig and try to find
Find
it
it.
because it would seep along or come up somewhere else or sinkhole.
Mhm.
They can, pretty with the camera and the equipment we have, they can identify, and that makes that's a lot less invasive, and that technology is worth it if you don't have to dig up 30 feet versus 60 feet and trying to find
Yeah.
where that break is.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody have any comments? I know Jay's not with us tonight, but
Try to answer best I can, but yeah.
well, I know I had somebody from the public that wanted to give a shout out to the Public Works for the job that they are doing on the snow removal, because this has been
It's been a record year.
it's been a record year to say the least. So, yeah, they felt that they were doing a good job. So I said, well, I appreciate hearing that, and I'm sure the Public Works guys will as well. So, thank you.
And we're a long ways before the May long weekend, and that's always been.
We'll be saying, oh, no, we're done. Yeah.
Oh, gee, it does take a lot of crap.
Yeah.
I know one that you pay out for. This is really kind of turned into the way I said, there's so much to do, so much snow, and you're worried about your little driveway.
Yeah. I don't think the community understands exactly, like, yes, there's lots of snow, but there's more to Public Works than snow removal. So
Yeah,
you have to be a little patient.
the water is way more important. That's something they don't understand that, right?
And this year particularly challenge, we barely got cleaned up and then also snowed again. Then
Yeah.
back to the priorities. And then we
Yeah.
have to, because we have to make sure the priorities, the hospital, the RCMP, and those priorities are help services. So.
Yeah, for sure. We can do all three of these and then do one motion, or do you want a motion?
So you do all three in one motion, if you want.
Okay, animal control. Don't say anything on cats here.
They're all, now you're jinxed yourself. They're gonna be all spring to be at your place. Yeah.
Nice to see that they're not a whole lot of them dogs either, so.
No.
Okay. And recreation.
Let's see, 2 pages.
Yeah, she got a report in the Heritage Day, which was, you can see here, 170 in attendance, went really well. So I think we probably want someone made comments, and if you read it, and when you go through the report, is that it was even bigger than one that we had in Lloydminster. So
I saw that.
yeah, wow, she's done a really good job. I think the date was really good.
Mhm.
It's something to do with Family Day and makes sense. What's your heritage and family? So I think that we can build on that. Can build on for future years as well. So
Yeah, and to have it so successful for the first one,
yeah,
because you always hear afterwards, oh, I didn't know about it, so now the word will get out, so yeah, no.
Yeah, and they got room to grow and opportunities there, so. The demand was there, so that was good.
Absolutely.
Even though we've been promoting it for the last 2 years,
Right.
like on the day and.
yeah, fine, right.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, does anybody have any questions regarding? Okay, can we
Just
get a
a
motion?
quick comment on the newcomers thing. Yeah, we had a fairly productive meeting the other day, and threw some ideas around, like Jay doing a promotional video, singing karaoke. Things are coming together. We're not going to. It says here we're going to be meeting monthly, and we're gonna hold off until we have some more solid answers before we meet up again. So we'll be more communicating in between. But yeah, it's really encouraging, and it kind of sounds like things are coming together. So that's great.
Perfect. Hopefully that's as successful as the Heritage Day.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, she touched on Canada Day. I'll touch on it again when we do the other reports, so.
Okay.
Okay, can we get a motion to approve these
I can
three
do that.
reports? Sean? All in favor? Carried. All right. Health finances. How's the audit going?
Right in the middle of it, so getting close to the end. I know Michelle and Mir have been very busy with the audit, so with the auditors. So I know he's near this weekend as well. So we should begin to the tail end of it now.
Perfect. I guess we should have mentioned too that we are doing an Elk Point Volunteer of the Year.
Right.
It's in here, but we didn't really mention that. So if there's a volunteer in your organization who rises to the occasion with every task, does their job with love and attention, and deserves to be recognized, you can now nominate them. So I think that's on our social medias and on our website as well. So
We announced at our April 27th council meeting. They said they'll put it on to the.
oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they will be
Mr. Grant.
application, won't they? Yes. And they'll be thrilled.
Yeah, it's a reward to come to council meeting.
Okay, committee minutes and reports. Allied Arts. That's me. Okay, so we did have our meeting, it's a little quiet for bookings. We do have some going forward. We have the Scott Wood coming with his Fiddle Country concert. It's June 12th, and we are dedicating that evening to, there was one particular resident that was quite prominent in bringing him into the community, but she has since passed away. And so we are going to dedicate the evening. We'll have a little acknowledgement for her there that night. So tickets will be available from Elk Point Realty. They should be coming out shortly, I believe. We don't exactly have a date. We have to do a little learning thing because they look after the tickets. It's not something that the Allied Arts, you can't go on our website, I don't believe, to get the tickets. So
And you said that's June 12th,
June 12th,
Friday night?
Friday, yeah. So this will be a different event for us too, because this will just strictly be, there's no tables, it's all just concert seating. So there will be no bar, there will be no 50-50, strictly the show. There will be some light snacks afterwards, I believe, so. And just a reminder that the dinner theater dates have changed for the adults, May 29th to 30th, which is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then the brunch on Sunday, May 31st. And then the following June 5th and 6th is the wrap-up weekend. At our last meeting, we were still waiting on a confirmation of a caterer. And the title that they are doing this year is Sweet Surrender. It'll be interesting. The Elk Point Theater Project, Willy Wonka Jr., tickets are on sale. For the show only, $30, and then the meal and the show is $50. Those dates are May 2nd and 3rd, and then the following weekend, May 9th and 10th. The Elk Point Ukrainian Dance Concert is April 26th, and we have one loan payment left. We are so excited.
Nice.
And then at the meeting, I was asked to reach out regarding snow removal. Because it is a town and county facility, is it something that the town, like, and don't get me wrong, Public Works does it if we ask them. But this year, and I know they're busy, we have had to reach out to others to have it done. So we just want some clarification as to whether it should be on their list of things to do when they get to it or not. And then we know. And then we are we are having to do some upgrades to our sprinkler system along with Northern Lights. And there will be some shared costs, and then there'll be some that are ours and some that are theirs. And then we were asked if we would host the Pierogi Supper for Canada Day, and we are considering it. And then we're also trying to figure out if we're going to incorporate maybe a jamboree or some sort of entertainment in that evening as well. So, yeah, other than that, that's it for Allied Arts. So I think I'm next. Yep, Northern Lights. Okay. Northern Lights, we have some new managers in the group. We have a new manager, library manager in Murnum, Tofield. The St. Paul manager went to Lac La Biche, so St. Paul also has a new manager. And we did receive a letter from the minister accepting Kikino as a new member to our system. So we're continually reaching out, and basically we only have the First Nations and the Métis settlements to reach out to see if they want to join as members, because all the other municipalities are members. And the most municipalities have paid their levies. This is a plan of service year, so we did form a committee to work on the plan of service. They will meet, our next meeting is May 27th in person at the Northern Lights building. So the plan of service committee will meet prior to that. They'll meet there again, and then hopefully they'll meet a few times and then be able to prepare or present in August what they've come up with for a plan for the next few years. We had a member on the policy committee that needed to step back, so that spot was filled with the member from Andrew. And since we are working and encouraging the Métis and Indigenous to join, the Frog Lake representative was there, so she gave us an update. Their library is in their school. They have 5 staff and are doing a great deal of programming. They are looking into grants to get some books that are more specific to their community needs. And so things are going very well for them. And I believe they've been with us for 5 years.
Yeah.
As a new Indigenous or Métis member, the first 3 years their levies are waived, and it's subsidized through the dedicated provincial portion of the on lot or on reserve on settlement grants that we receive. And there's currently funds in there to cover that. So if they do use that, then they have to stay for the 3 years. They can't leave. And then they're always reviewing new policy. And then the next meeting is an in-person meeting, like I said, in May. We only do one in-person meeting a year. The rest are virtual. Oh, look at me, Canada Day. All right, well, Caitlin kind of put some things in her report. Our fireworks are confirmed for June 30th. And I know that there was a little bit of talk in the community that some people didn't care for it on the 30th, but we aren't able to get them for July 1st. And then we have a lot of people that do like it on the 30th. So that's been confirmed. The petting zoo's been confirmed. We have our face painters and sparkle tattoo people lined up. We've changed a few things on the main stage this year. So we have an entertainer booked. I'm not giving out all the details yet. We're still going to have a lot of dance, music. We're still looking at doing the dog agility. The Friends of the Library have generously offered to do the pancake breakfast again. And the Lions are looking at doing a duck race on the river. I don't have a lot of details there. The riding arena has been asked about hosting an event. And at the time of the meeting, I was waiting for a reply. I have since then heard that they will be hosting something. They just don't know what it's going to be yet. And then we did ask the Allied Arts to hold the pierogi supper. Some food vendors are confirmed. Others we're waiting to hear from. And Sean, I'm going to ask that you reach out to the FCSS regarding the movie night. Usually it's supposed to be an outdoor movie night, but we have it in the arena when the day's all done. So if you bring that up at your next FCSS meeting, they'll know what you're talking about.
So just talk to them, get some answers, you're saying?
Yeah, because we've hosted one for the last many years. And we've tied it into Canada Day. And so I don't know if they still are doing them during the summer and fall, because I'm not there anymore. So if you ask, they'll know, and they'll know if it's still on the list of events.
Okay.
Thank you. And then I will reach out to Brenda regarding the Orbis balls, because they're great for little people. We are going to go ahead with the mini market. This year, we're going to do things a little bit different. We're going to cap the number of tables, and registration will have to be prepaid. And we are looking at possibly doing traffic control in the parking lot by the arena, or having that, but still with traffic control, having that as handicap parking, and people have to park over by the ball diamond, just because it gets a little chaotic, and the fire department needs to get in there if they're doing their junior fire challenge. So
If they have to get out.
and if they have to get out, we have to be able to get them out. So yeah, other than that, there's lots of things still being discussed. Soapbox Derby, Family Challenge, Firefighter Challenge. So it's going to be a fun time. And we will have something planned for June 30th as well. to get it, everybody. Oh, karaoke is booked. Yeah. Okay, I'm done for now. Lakeland DMO. Did they have a meeting?
Not recently that I'm aware. We have a meeting on Thursday, I believe.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then we'll add that to the next one.
Yes, Thursday.
Okay. MD Foundation.
Well, the MD Foundation has offered a position of CAO. She has accepted it. That's just in the last couple of days here, so that was quick. So I didn't do the interviews. Were you at?
I was involved in the interviews and all of them brought similar, like when we did with Daryl coming into the community, the individuals that came and sat before us were all qualified in one shape, way or form. All brought different aspects and different things to the table. We came down to final decision. I think she'll do very well with us and hope to be able to announce that soon. Yes.
Where's she from originally?
She's from out east originally. She's been in the community for quite some time now, in a community within the region, I should say. I believe she's north of town is where she's from, kind of between here and Bonnyville. Yeah. So she's kind of very centralized between St. Paul. She's very close to everybody, so. Obviously, we've talked about the borrowing bylaw, so everything is still going ahead there.
Yeah.
It's on the run.
When the shovel's going in the ground.
There
I
are,
haven't planned the day yet, but it's.
It's demolish the,
Yeah,
townhouse first and.
that's where it's gonna start, is with the townhouses, and that was, they just finalized the last move, because there was still one person or one family that was in there. But I believe this spring, once things get ready to go here, we'll be firing her up, and money's been changing hands and things are ready, so it's a go.
Okay. Steph.
What all happened there? So the RRS stuff went to every committee or every council. We decided here that we weren't in favor of it. The other two councils agreed that they would still be a part. Since we apply as a group, we're still involved, but they're just putting forward their desire to stay within the system. So that may affect how many positions we would be able to get, because we were stepping away. It's not that we had many here anyway. So I don't know how much it would impact us, but again, it's in the process of being reinitiated. And then we'll see what the government goes with at that point in time. We can discuss later on what positioning we want to be within step with that. Yes, with the RS. What else do I got here? With step, we're really pushing on the energy corridor for power and gas. We are all in agreement that is got to be top priority. We're trying to push the idea within the region and outside of our region to make sure that northeastern Alberta is represented and we start seeing something more. So there's meetings that we'll continue on with. I think some of that stuff might even be at the Global Forum or whatever in Egg. So I'm sure that there'll be more and more conversations on it. I believe Linda was going to be meeting with St. Paul Council just because there's a fairly big changeover, and they wanted to go through and see exactly how STEP is involved with the communities and represents, so should be going and doing that. There's a Parks Forum, and I believe Ella is going to be attending that. And the Global Forum is going to be Linda. That's already been booked. And on her notes, we've brought in Mark Baxter for engaging ongoing meat processing stuff. So within the region, looking to see if there's anything we can do with butchery and stuff like that. So there was talk about a meat processing and how we could be more involved in that. So
Mark?
he's the guy that helped set up STEP. So he organized it.
Oh, okay, so he's not directly involved with the
No,
meat, okay.
no, he's, but just because of time and process and everything else like that, we brought him back in to just kind of help guide us through that. With the, we were talking about those plants that we had with, for feed, cattle feed, kind of new plants that we're trying to work with Vermilion College with, and right now CP Farms is doing all the work. The plants are in St. Paul, and we're going to be distributing them to Lakeland College to plant. We were hoping to have a little bit more plants available so that we continue the study. So this might be a building year of that, if I can say that correctly. So we're just trying to get more plants and then be able to do an actual bigger study where you've got the plants and the food and studying the cattle. So environmentally friendly, they won't poop as much, or it won't be as aggressively, methane. Will be environmentally friendly. Scott has asked us to have more meetings as far as that regional economic development. So they did have one meeting. So we discussed how often we wanted to see that occur. He would like to see it happen as often as he could. So we're just trying to finalize how that'll go forward, if it's going to involve just a smaller group, councils, that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, Elk Point Golf and Country Club. We held the AGM and the regular meeting last week. The president felt the year prior went well. The course looked great, not as many gophers, fewer water repairs, so it was nice to see. The clubhouse manager and the grounds superintendent are back again. We held the election, and the only change to the executive was the vice president, because the prior one had stepped back. And then there was an addition of one more new board member. But we need to locate the bylaws just for some clarification on numbers and exactly what, that kind of stuff. Currently, nobody knows where they are. And then during the regular meeting, the WCB report has been done. All bills are paid. They're working on the inside of the clubhouse. They're redoing kind of the kitchen area. They had done the flooring in the main part. And now they're working in the kitchen. They're getting some new cabinets. They're gonna paint and do the flooring in the kitchen area.
No more blue carpet?
No more. And this, I believe for both the grounds and the kitchen, I think there'll be advertising for some more staff, because some staff's coming back, but not all. Of course, the clubhouse and the grounds have wish lists. And so they need to figure out some pricing and decide, so that we can decide what actually gets done. There is some equipment that they discussed that needs to be replaced. Some that can be repaired, but probably still costly repairs, and some definitely needs to be replaced. And they, after the meeting, discussed somebody mentioned the agreement with the town. That you look after that goes to them.
Yeah.
And other than that, they're not sure when they'll open with all this white stuff still around, but when they do, they'll be ready. So.
I have enough water to start the year anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will. Hopefully that creek runs a little bit. So. All right, and Monday mayor meetups. Well, we've had two. I do want to thank the people that have come in. There hasn't been a lot of traffic. But I did have somebody reach out regarding my choice of time, and they're wondering why I'm doing it during the day. But I'm just gonna put it out there. If during the day doesn't work for anybody, I'm fairly easy to get a hold of, and you can reach out and I can make an alternate time to meet with somebody if you're happen to be at work. And then somebody else was also concerned with the dogs and the cats, and we know it's an ongoing issue, and we're trying to deal with it as we can. Our Public Works is trying to deal with it. So, but yeah, other than that, I went and judged science fair projects last week, and next week Daryl and I are going to the grade 3 class for a government talk. So yeah, it's sometimes I had the Pathfinders in here last week for a mock council meeting, which was engaging. It was a lot of fun. So
Oh, who did you have it?
the Pathfinders, so it's like the Girl Guides, the older version of the Girl Guides and Brownies. So I did up a little agenda for everybody, and they came, and they're pretty shy to start, but by the end they were.
Did they have any good ideas? Did they have any thoughts?
Well, what we did discuss, because I said to Daryl, I said,
What's on the agenda?
what do we put, like, what do we talk about? I want to have something where we get a little bit of debate going. And so he said, skateboard park. So we did, and there was people that were in favor of, getting used equipment as long as it's, secured properly. And then somebody else says, no, I think we should have new. So yeah, so it was good. It was good. And then we did go through the process of a deputy mayor. We're finding a deputy mayor. We had a couple girls that were willing, so then they had to vote to pick one, and it was good. It was a good evening.
Good.
So
Nice.
and the leader said they were all smiling, or kind of smiling as much as teenagers smile. So yeah, no, it was nice. They left some Girl Guide cookies, and they went with a Peter Fiddler pin and the little puppet ball. So they really liked those. They started playing with those instantly. So it was good. So yeah, I was really, really happy with that. So all right. Are there any meetings that we may have missed?
We just had the fireboard, but we can talk about that
The
next.
next one.
Okay.
Just this last week.
Okay.
We had
Unicorn
DEP,
was
but again, we can address it.
What was that, Sean? Sorry?
We also had an EDC meeting, but we can do that at the next meeting as well.
Okay.
Emergency.
Our Municorp meeting,
This week it's canceled, yeah.
Canceled. Not enough on the agenda, so.
Okay. Okay. All right. If that's it, then can I get a motion to approve the committee minutes and reports? Dwayne. All in favor? That motion is carried. All right, no correspondence and information, acknowledgements and concerns from mayor and councillors. So Oak Point Riding Arena hosted a rope skills and success. So we thank them for their efforts with that. Sounds like it was a good time.
Yeah.
So,
And I have to say, I am appreciating these acknowledgements,
yes,
because it kind of makes a record of what's
happening.
in the town. When people, there are things,
yeah.
and people are appreciating that we're acknowledging.
I just hope now that as things are happening, we are acknowledging, because if we miss something, then, so we're gonna have to.
That's a good problem to have, but there's so much out there that we
Yeah.
can't catch up on it. Well, we'll do our
Best, absolutely. Okay, and then council remuneration. We don't need motions on, this is just for
So use information.
receive his information for both of them.
Yeah, I can make that motion one.
Okay, so you're doing the council timesheets, you're doing it, or can we do them both together?
We should be separate.
Separate, okay.
I did the first one.
First one, okay.
I'll do the second one.
Dwayne. Okay, let's do an all in favor for Jason's first. Carried. And council timesheets, Dwayne. Carried. All right, with that, we will adjourn the meeting. We have no closed sessions.
Had